won the Supercross title, according to our statistician, Davey Coons. It's get nervous time.
Damon Huffman right there on the far right, number 15, and one rider just to the inside of him, Steve Lamson on the Honda. Those guys are gambling, trying to go all the way to the inside, hope they get a decent jump. Everybody gets pushed wide in the corner, and Art, every start has got a little more radical in that first corner.
So you expect some rubbing there?
I think so.
Okay, let's find out. Number 19, the fourth stroke, Doug Henry. Big lead. Jeff Emig right behind him, goes wide though. McGrath cuts in front. Jeremy McGrath in second, Emig in third. It's the fourth stroke out in front, Doug Henry, a big crowd favorite wherever he goes.
Lusk is down in the first corner. He has to take off his left glove. Something happened to his hand. He did a little fishtail in the first corner.
He's down there with John Dowd, I think, or Wyndham.
That's Kevin Wyndham, Fishone, and Ryan Hughes all got caught up in that, and so did Mike Craig. So
Michael Craig just takes the goggles off, while out in front, it's Henry. McGrath, Emig being pressured by Michael Brown, a Hondo of Troy, number 100. Lamson, number 17 next, and Sebastian.
Here's the replay. Watching the black jersey, number 3, Ezra Lusk gets all the way sideways. As to the far right, Ryan Hughes goes off the racetrack. Over to the left, just out of our view.
And there's
Something happened to Ezra Lusk, causing him to go down. I think when he got sideways, he got hit from behind. So in terms of the title chase, this is just devastating for Honda and Ezra Lusk.
Doug Henry now under great pressure from McGrath. They will lap Ezra Lusk, who's coasting around.
I hope Ezra Lusk isn't hurt. I saw him working that hand, moving those fingers back and forth.
Henry gets to pick his own line. He better pick the right one. Here's McGrath to the inside. Oh, that torque of the four-stroke out of the corner. But McGrath takes him in the whoops. Jeremy McGrath now on the straightaway. Is it goodbye time? Now that he's in the lead, can Henry hang on to it?
McGrath went through that corner like a slingshot. The guy's timing right now is just incredible, and Lusk is going to probably score a 20th here. He is dead last, cruising around. It looks like he may not even be able to finish the race. You see his left hand there. He's working it. It feels weird to go out after years and years of riding with gloves to just try to finish a race without a glove, but
here's the battle behind McGrath. Henry is getting a big challenge, number 19, from number 100, Mike Brown. This is Mike Brown's best 250 race that I can remember.
I talked to him before the San Diego round, and like I've been saying, a lot of these guys felt like they've had a chance to get up there and run. They feel like their pace is good. They just haven't had an opportunity, and Brown's got his now.
Emig has moved into fourth. Let's go down to Marty.
Yeah, one of those guys in that crash, Mike Craig, you may have a broken wrist.
I don't know who it was, but somebody's fork landed right on my arm and thrashed me pretty good. I want to ride, but it hurts too bad right now.
We got to let this guy go to a doctor, guys.
Here's the battle for second as Jeremy McGrath with a 2-second lead on number 19, Henry, and Michael Brown. Brown's best of the season was an 8 in Seattle. Look out, it's bar to bar. In the rhythm section, Michael Brown will have to go to the outside. No, he cuts underneath. What a move. Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful move, but what Henry's got is comes out of the outside. He's jumping something into that wood section a little different than everybody else. Working really good for him, and it helped him get that pass back.
Watching this battle for second place, Mike Brown and Henry just going at it as they go over the finish line jump. Michael Brown goes down. He held up Henry in the process, and Emig has now moved into second place. A light year away from our leader, Jeremy McGrath, is leading this race. Take another look at Henry and Brown in second and third.
This is what happened. Brown came over the plateau jump, over-jumped it a little bit, got into those braking bumps, and that soil is like a marshmallow. It soaks up all your speed. He had the front wheel turned a little bit. Henry had nowhere to go but up into him, and those guys lost a lot of time.
McGrath with the big lead, but we've got a battle royal going on for second place. Emig and Jimmy Button. Button has moved up through the crew once again, like he did last week.
Button's got to contain himself here and ride smart. He told us he wouldn't make the same mistake again. Remember, it was Emig that kind of used up a lot of the track and irritated him, and he went back in there, tried to pass it, and went down.
The Suzuki leaderboard with McGrath on top with an 8-second lead. The battle is on. Did you see that move by Emig on Button?
Well, he knew Button had come in on the inside. There was nothing he could do but to just stop early and square it. He did a perfect job of it. I'm sure Button expected it.
Jimmy Button cuts in front of Emig.
But here it is, and a look over his shoulder, in your face, and Button trying to protect that inside line there as well. These guys riding defensive against each other is allowing Larry Ward to close the gap.
Larry Ward, number 4, moving up on Emig now as we go back to Marty Reed.
Well, guys, remember it was Jeff Emig that got into Jimmy Button's head in the heat race. Remember, he got too aggressive. That little look, that was his thank you. See you later, fella.
Yes, it was.
And it's a big turning point for Jeff Emig, I believe, right now. McGrath, the big leader. Button in second, like last week. But look at Larry Ward, Team Suzuki. Ward has not hit a podium yet this year. He did get that fine 4th place finish in Seattle, but he's taking on Jeff Emig. What a bone crusher this would be mentally for Jeff Emig.
And already Emig's forced to ride defensive. If he would have taken the outside right there, Ward would have got around anyway, and he was in a no-win situation.
Ward to the inside. Does he have the power to stay there in 3rd place? Larry Ward, Team Suzuki in 3rd. He started 12th last week and made it all the way back to 5th in San Diego. And in that inspired performance in Seattle, taking a 4th. But right now, he's got his first podium chance of the year. McGrath, Button, Ward, Henry, Tortelli, and Lamps in the order. Lee McCullough. That's Ward's mechanic. Does he have his fingers and toes crossed?
Yes, he does. He knows that he can go after Jimmy Button. He won the battle between himself and Button in Seattle, a couple of corners to go. So if it comes down to the wire again, Larry Ward, with all that experience riding up front over the years, one of the older guys out there, a veteran, may make a better decision when it comes down to the final couple of corners.
This could be the first podium for Team Suzuki this year.
It's just amazing. McGrath is so far ahead.
Number 9, John Dowd is down, just getting up and moving now out of the whoop section, but he went down for the 2nd time.
The way the track's designed, McGrath comes out of a corner going one way, and he can see his teammate Button coming the other, and that's got to make him feel good. These guys were so happy to go 1-2.
Check out number 19, Doug Henry on the 4-stroke. He's now making a move on Emig, and right behind Emig is his teammate from Team Kawasaki. That's number 103 on the left side. They're having a little bit of trouble in the whoops. Sebastian Tortelli.
Putting together a pretty good ride. Hasn't really had an opportunity to, after hurting his knee, to get up there and challenge with these guys. McGrath already moving out to an 8-second lead, and I'm impressed, Art, with Henry. Going down that corner right there, it takes so much out of you to pick it up, get going again, especially the 4-stroke.
He must have kept that 4-stroke moving, though, I mean, as far as the motor.
No, I think he learned that lesson in L.A. Keep that thing running no matter what. And to be able to get back in there and be a factor in this race and have a shot at the podium is a real testament to his training and desire.
Lampson is also coming up on Tortelli. Here comes Henry.
This is where he makes his time, Art, right here. Watch him jump this section.
Emig cuts him off. He's using the track, baby. Henry takes a little bail with him, the tough box, then slides out, but he's still up and moving.
Well, what happened is rear wheel was in that rut coming out of the corner. He was still leaning to the inside, and boy, was it lucky that he didn't get caught up by Tortelli. It just barely missed him and back tire by inch.
Let's take another look. Doug Henry's problems.
Well, Emig just moving to his left. I mean, you can't blame the guy. He's trying to hold his position. Henry did a great job to stay there. Watch his back tire. Got on the gas a little too early, and Tortelli just about hit him. If he'd have hit him, they'd have both gone down.
And so McGrath still in the lead, but Jimmy Button a comfortable 2nd place. It's Ward in 3rd with Emig and Tortelli. Back and forth we go. Tortelli and Ward. Or Emig and Tortelli, I should say. I'm sorry.
Tortelli making a beautiful pass on Emig, who's just struggling right now. It's obvious, having a tough time through this whoop section. Tortelli clearly faster, but Emig always able to retaliate. As soon as he gets past, he passes the guy right back.
This is Sebastian Tortelli's final race in America before going over to the GP Wars, where he will contend for a title there. He's right behind his teammate, Jeff Emig, but Lampson has been given time to catch up on the 2. This is the battle for 4th. Jeremy McGrath with better on Jimmy Button. Ward is starting to pick up on Button, however.
Those two are going to go down to the wire. And it's going to be the smarter of the two. The guy that doesn't make any mistakes is going to come out on top of that battle. And here again, Tortelli making his move in the same place. But he made a mistake just before this going to the last lap. That's what enabled Emick to get by. This time he was through there clean.
Lusk is out of the race. He has a DNF.
Lamson finding his way around Emick through that whoop section. So the whoop sections all year have been a real challenge for Emick. Just uncomfortable through there.
But unable to get a big advantage in second place like he did last week in San Diego. And Ward is trying to pick up another spot.
See him heading into that section that's kind of a mountain of whoops. The ruts to start it off. That was the section that Marty gave us a shot of right before the start. Got to have perfect balance entering that section. You get crossed up in one of those ruts, and you got to go over that mountain of whoops. Out of control.
Tortelli and Lamson in front of Emick.
But just when it looked like in the heat race, Emick had a shot at getting out there and having a good race. Here in the main, struggling again, just getting past everywhere.
Suzuki leaderboard. Ward in third, Tortelli and Lamson fourth and fifth, our top five. But it's McGrath dominating. Looking like he will become the all-time career leader in wins when you count motocross action and supercross action together.
Putting an exclamation point on it, too. I mean, the guy is so far ahead. As Button does the triple, Jeremy's going by the other way. Just saw the top of him going by.
Here comes Larry Ward. He cuts to the inside. Button. They almost collide. Let's go to Marty.
You guys were talking about Jeremy McGrath. I'm keeping the stopwatch on. He's doing it so easy as we've got that great battle. Looked like Ward had the inside line. Now they're down that section. McGrath's doing it at 51-second laps. Nobody's putting any pressure on him.
Here comes Ward. Ward cutting to the outside. Now goes inside using the track. He's got second on Button. Can he hold it as they go over the finish line jump with 6 laps to go? What a race by Larry Ward. They drastically changed the bike. Lee McCollum, his mechanic, Larry Ward, got together before Seattle. Radical changes to the suspension. And it's made all the difference in the world.
Well, all he needed was a good finish up there. Gave him a little bit of confidence. Didn't get the start he would like to have gotten in the road. Just didn't ride quite like he should have in San Diego, but right here, putting it back together, it's going to do a lot for his confidence for the rest of the season.
Let's get it right from Lee, Marty.
Lee McCollum, you guys haven't had much to cheer about right now. He's in second.
Yeah, he's going pretty good. He's making his way up to the front, and he's riding really well. He likes his track a lot, and it shows right now.
Well, the sign he put up last lap, guys, was "Show me."
And he has. He's put a big lead on Button since he passed him.
So now Jimmy Button simply trying to hold on to a podium spot for Chaparral Yamaha, as the very experienced Larry Ward, once he gets in a position like this in the past, he's held on.
Yes, he has, unless he's had somebody like Emick or McGrath breathing down his neck the final couple of corners. Then you see Larry playing it smart. And right here, it looks like Jimmy Button has decided, you know what, can't run the pace of Ward. I learned my lesson in Seattle. I'm going to ride smart and get on the podium with my teammates.
Jeremy McGrath came into this race in Indianapolis leading 53 at the 100 laps so far. Well, he's going to up that ratio after this one, David.
Just amazing. And I really trying to put my finger on what seems to be Emick's problem, but he just doesn't seem comfortable out there. And I use the word confidence a lot when I'm talking on the show, and that's the name of the game at this level. If you don't have the confidence to go out there and attack a whoop section in third gear and just try to skim the tops of those things the way McGrath is doing, you're going to get past. And the more you get past, the more it just demoralizes you.
McGrath, Ward in second, Button in third, Tortelli, a good job holding off Lamson, and Emick behind Lamson. And here's number 2, Jeremy McGrath, cruising with a smooth style. He's got the lead he wants on a track that is his kind of track, a very fast track, good technique track.
He's starting to stay out of the ruts, entering that corner there before the finish. He's not going out to use the outside. He's staying out of the inside rut, staying out of them there. Playing it very safe as we put up the Honda stopwatch. Jeremy over the triple. We'll get a lap time on him, and Larry Ward should be coming by.
Here's Ward jumping the triple at 9.5.
So a comfortable lead
And about 14.5 for Button.
Jeremy will just keep tabs on Ward. He'll continue to push a little bit, because if you back off, the track starts to look a little different. You start to hit stuff you weren't hitting when you were at speed. So
Jeremy McGrath has hit the podium in every race. He has not had a bad race this year, starting with a third in Los Angeles, 2 second places. Right now, he's gunning for his 3rd consecutive victory. You know, Jeremy McGrath is looking to bring the Supercross title to a Yamaha for the first time since 1980. A guy named Bell back in those days.
I remember that. 52.7 for McGrath. I raced against Bell. Remember when he won the championship? Too tall Bell, they call him. 6'3". Guy looked like Spider-Man on the bike. But boy, can he ride a Supercross track. He can soak up a jump and make it look like it wasn't even there.
The only battle is between Lamson, Emig, and Larocco for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Let's go back to Marty.
Well, I'm down here with Randy Lawrence, and Randy, he's running about 51, 52-second laps, and now the lead's down to about 5.5. You going to tell him to pick it up?
No, he's been watching the other guys to see where they're at. It's down to 1 lap now, so he's just kind of watching Larry Ward to finish the race.
Does this sound like a confident mechanic or what?
White flag lap. Jeremy McGrath over the finish line jump. Whenever Jeremy has taken over the points lead in the 250 Supercross, he has never lost it. The final lap for number 2 on the Chaparral Yamaha, Jeremy McGrath.
You might see a knack-knack here, but I think it's a little bit too rutted. The other thing about Jeremy is once he's gotten that points lead and all those titles, he's won by a huge margin going down the stretch, and that was the hope of Lusk. To try to keep the pressure on, force Jeremy hopefully into a mistake, since he hadn't had a real bad race yet, and Lusk has. But now, disaster for Lusk. 2 weeks in a row, way off the pace. Due to bad luck.
Yeah, more bad luck for Lusk. There's no question about it. Lusk pretty much blaming himself for the bad luck. And look at there. Larocco is trying to pass, and does Jeff Emig. The checkers for Jeremy. Jeremy McGrath has won his 3rd Supercross of 1998 and will take a decisive points lead coming out of this round as he congratulates a tremendous performance from Larry Ward of Team Suzuki in 2nd place. So Ward trying to push his way up toward the top 5. 3rd place goes to Jimmy Button as well, stopping to say hello to his friend and teammate on the Chaparral team. An outstanding performance, as you see there. The family in tears. Jack McGrath, see his profile there. His mom, Tracy, his sister on the left.
I think this is an emotional scene, not only because he's just become the winningest rider of all time, but also the bad luck to Lusk. This is looking really good for a 5th straight, or not a 5th straight, but a 5th and unprecedented Supercross title. 27-point lead going in, that's going to grow huge because Emig placed well back in the pack.
Well, if you want to talk records, you could talk for 2 months about Jeremy McGrath. And it increasingly surprises me along the way that we find records he doesn't own.
And you know, through it all and all the expectation and changing teams, Jeremy has remained Jeremy. I haven't seen him fluctuate in his personality much. That's one thing I really admire. I've always admired that about Michael Jordan, with the kind of fame and people tossing at him for years and years, and McGrath has had pretty much the same thing in motocross, and he's remained a good kid.
So Lusk with only 1 point, and Jeremy McGrath not only dominates the season, but now taking the bows that he deserves. The fans standing, seeing history made here in Supercross in the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, and before a record crowd as well. We've never had more people here in the RCA Dome to see a Supercross race. Well, we'll be right back, and I'm sure anxious to hear what Jeremy has to say now about superseding Bob right now, gunning for number 1 once again, looking for a 5th Supercross title. Jeremy McGrath takes a 45-point lead on the 1998 season.